You are now listening to the Salty Virgins Podcast.
So, boys, can you wear sneakers with suits?
You absolutely can. It does depend on what...
Very, very specific sneakers.
Very specific sneakers. It also depends on what event you're going to.
What type of sneakers?
They have to be Air Jordan 1s, Air Jordan 4s, high top, like, Yeezys.
High top 6s.
High top 6s, yeah.
And 11s.
Certain 11s with certain colors.
Is there a list that short, or are there just common traits that...
There's a list that short. Like, you're not wearing LeBrons with a suit. Like, that's not what's happening. You're not wearing KDs.
The silhouette requires a very dominant color, probably black, with very little extraneous bullshit on it.
Yeah. So, like, you couldn't wear the Miami South Beach, like, LeBron 7s because those have, like, weird color blocking and all kinds of other shit on them.
So, like, I could see it. I don't think I could ever wear sneakers with a suit. Just that's not something that I've ever thought to do. But I've seen it not look bad before. I don't...
What about Converse?
Yeah, for high school prom, sure, go ahead.
No, not even then.
Okay, off-white Converse.
No, I'm good on Converse.
With a suit?
The off-white, the blue ones, those go hard.
Like I could see you wearing like regular Converse with like a gray suit.
You shouldn't.
Again, for high school prom, anything
Yeah.
goes.
For the record, I could never pull off sneakers in a suit, so
Pat can dress himself.
I was about to say, last episode, Pat said he could not dress himself, so this is definitely out of his range.
Oh yeah, I'm out of my element.
I also said last time I wore a suit was like 5 years ago, so I'm really not in this conversation that much either.
I don't know.
But it also depends.
When I had those all black 11 Lab 4s, I wore those several times to supposedly formal functions.
Yeah, I just don't wear suits enough. I don't think I own any sneakers nearly nice enough either.
You don't. It's okay. It's not your fault. It is your fault.
You do have the money.
Yeah. It really all depends on the event. Personally, like, if I was going to, like, the Grammys, I'd get that fit off. Like, sneakers with a suit, because it fits. But if I'm going to meet, God forbid, the president, I probably wouldn't. I'd go with something else.
Well, people just try to dress weird for the Grammys.
You'd wear your MAGA hat to the side if you go meet Trump. Just a little bit of a skew.
I'd get the 5-panel Kanye hat. That's what I'd do.
You're gonna get the Tom Brady special?
Absolutely not.
Kiss your kid special?
No, I won't do it.
Can we talk about how weird that is?
It's really fucking weird. Everybody's acknowledged that, Patrick.
It's just so weird.
So the video is he's getting a massage, which is a weird time to kiss your kid on the cheek, but he makes his kid kiss him on the lips and
Come back
because he didn't kiss him on the lips long enough. Tom Brady, certified creep.
Like, that kid is not very young. I don't know how old that kid was, but he was much too old.
10 or 12 or something like that.
Far too old to be insisting that they kiss you on the lips.
Absolutely not. And that's y'all's goat. Couldn't be me.
And, like, I do hate the Patriots, but also, this is just fucking weird. Not from, like, a...
No, it's super weird.
Yeah, this is a family therapy level of item.
And, like, we get it. Giselle, like, she's from another country. Like, maybe they're more affectionate, but Tom is not.
I don't know, man. I've never seen another person kiss a random person on the lips to greet them, much less their own child.
Yeah, I don't know it. I don't think I know any people that...
Oh, I'm not defending him at all. Anytime to slander Tom Brady, I'm for it. No. He shouldn't do that. Like, he should... Like, it's cute when they're, like, babies, because it's like, oh, it's a baby. But when your kid is old enough to, like, walk to you, give you a kiss, you tell them not, like, it wasn't long enough. And
when your kid's old enough that he was probably beating his meat 20 minutes before.
Oh my god.
No! Jackson, Jesus.
Oh, where's the record scratch? Fucking rip.
Let's not talk about the soundboard, please.
So, Patrick spent about 35 minutes before this podcast trying to set up the soundboard to no avail, to the point that I think he's quit it. I think he's deleted it. We're not going to have a soundboard anymore until we buy him a nice one.
Yeah,
until
seriously.
one of our lovely viewers buys him a nice one.
Yeah. Donate to our Patreon. Yeah. We don't have a Patreon, but we do appreciate the hard work that does put in. And we appreciate the basically hour you spent trying to get that to work.
Thanks.
It's not like we were doing anything productive.
Yeah. We should set up a GoFundMe or something.
We were supposed to be having pre-production, but that did not happen.
It happened the same amount it happens any other week.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So I want to talk a little bit about the Grammys. I want to talk about Donald Glover winning it was best song, right? It was just best song in general, right?
Correct.
Best song and then best rap video as well.
Okay, with This
Best
Is America.
record. Best record.
Oh, it was record?
Yeah, best record.
Yeah.
Because this video dropped when we were in Vegas, and for some reason we were all in the hotel at like 6 p.m.
Which on the West Coast is when Saturday Night Live airs.
Or yeah, maybe it was like 8. I think but
SNL
anyway,
starts at 11, so
we're all sitting there watching, and we were all just kind of hanging out. And then when Donald Glover came on, we all just stopped and watched it. And then after the performance ended, Jordan was just on his phone and pulled up the video, and we just all sat and watched it for like 3.5 minutes, and then talked about it for like 45 minutes, and then went and got drunk as shit.
We did go get real drunk to assuage the pain of me getting my thing stolen on my birthday.
Yeah, that was after. That was the day after.
That was the day of!
That was the day of?
Yeah, we had just gotten to the hotel that day.
That's tragic.
Correct.
You just like to complain. What are you going to do?
shout out to our gods, Donald Glover, Future, and Thug, and not J. Cole for all winning Grammys.
Yeah, no Grammy for J. Cole.
Maybe this podcast is onto something.
So, do you think that he won Best Record from the music video? Because without that music video, this song is like, I mean, I love Childish Gambino, but this song's kind of subpar.
It's catchy, but yeah, not very memorable by itself. The visual is what is important.
It made white people feel good. That's
Explain
what it
yourself.
is.
Explain yourself on that one.
The content, it's the get out of rap songs. Like, it put it all out there with no nuance. It didn't have to explain anything. It was like, okay, things are fucked up, things are shitty, like, we can fix them more or less. Like, and that was it.
It allowed white people to recognize the issues facing black people and have them as talking points so they could pretend that they were actually doing something to fix those issues.
I see.
Yes.
That's a fair point. It did serve as a discussion piece for a while, but I mean, something has to be said about that discussion being a thing, right?
Yeah, no, that matters, but it shouldn't have to be laid out on the table in such a way for people to recognize it being an issue.
And also there should be some kind of like actual action afterwards.
Not just
okay, I can see that.
talking.
The action is he just won Record of the Year.
I don't. We're gonna let you be out on an island on that one, buddy.
Guys,
Those record label executives finally stopped being racist for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, give it to the black guy. It's actually the first rap album to win it.
I saw a lot of like rap purists upset about that on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, it was great, but you know, there have been a lot of people that thought records in the past against their competition for that year have just been so much better and haven't been awarded it. So it was kind of annoying, I guess, to a lot of people that this was what did it, because it was something that pointed to these issues so blatantly and became a discussion piece rather than like from a pure musical value, which I kind of understand. I didn't read into it that much, I don't think, but I can see where they're coming from for sure.
Other rap songs should have won Best Record or Record of the Year from the Grammys, but it's fine.
Yeah, I can think of a couple different instances. Like, I don't know. Is this one to break the seal, I guess?
It shouldn't take the Grammy 61 years for it to break the seal.
Well, rap music hasn't been, 61 years?
Yeah, rap music.
Really?
Well, rap music's been around since like the mid 70s. So.
Okay. Still most of that time frame though.
Yeah.
Damn, the mid 70s was like fucking 40, almost 50 years ago now, or like 45 years ago now.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that far away.
Shit's old.
Super far into the 2000s.
Time is an illusion.
None of this
Time
shit is
is
real.
in fact a flat circle.
Yeah, but rap up
why
until
can't we
like
time travel then?
mid 80s was garbage. Maybe.
Yeah. Rap
The
as
90s.
like a staple of pop culture about 30-ish years, but it's still treated like it's a fad that will go away. At any given time.
Yeah, when clearly, like, it is the most culturally impactful thing possibly on the earth.
That's an interesting point. It is still really treated as if it's a fad, as if it's something outside of like what normal music is.
Yeah, that's what old white people do. They treat everything like fads. That's why the whole millennial thing is.
I mean, yeah.
I wish being a millennial was a fad, so it would end and we would get paid more and treated with respect at work.
Afford our
And the
housing.
environment was not going to get obliterated in the next 50 years.
Yeah.
Global warming's just a fad.
I didn't realize I was reading an article the other day about different the different generations. I thought we're like one of the latest generations the latest year of like millennials.
And
I thought we were smack dab in the middle.
It all depends on who you ask, because we might not even be millennials, depending on some scales.
Yeah, this is Wikipedia,
We're all 23,
so obviously
24.
the most credible source.
Listen, you will not shame Wikipedia.
No, I fucking love Wikipedia, dude. Are you kidding me? That was what got me through high school and parts of college.
Yeah, you write papers using Wikipedia, and then you use the sources on Wikipedia as your sources.
Correct.
No, I wouldn't even. Well, I would do that sometimes, but sometimes I would just go find other sources vaguely about the topic, and then just use those as my sources over Wikipedia information. Or I'd find an article that looked like it was going to talk about what was in the Wikipedia.
You're a scumbag.
Well, because sometimes the sources from Wikipedia aren't the best. Like sometimes they want journals and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Some classes that were in one of that. You definitely wrote more papers than me for sure. So
Yeah, I was about to say, like, what classes were you taking where you were writing papers?
Just gen ed stuff. I didn't write too many papers.
I didn't think so, because I was like, you are a STEM major. They don't teach that over there.
Millennials end in 1996, according to a bunch of different stories. That's crazy. I'm barely a millennial. I always thought of myself as like the middle of being a millennial, but someone at work who's in his like early 30s was talking about how he's a millennial. And it just didn't feel like that because he feels too old to be one, but I guess that's just me getting older as well.
Correct. And also, we're a little bit ahead of, like, the generational curve of, like, maturity, I would say.
I don't know who you're talking
Let's just keep telling ourselves that.
I mean, we kind of can, though. Like, we all have jobs with salaries and whatever. It doesn't matter.
We have a podcast, so yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's peak millennial.
Yeah, it is peak millennial.
I had to tell people at work, like, I have to leave early because I have to go record.
I haven't talked about the podcast at work. I mean, people, my close circle of friends, yes, but not general people at work. I don't want them listening to this.
Oh, yeah, no, not at all.
See, you guys...
I've told people about it, and then they've never asked about it again. So
They just heard the word podcast and tuned out.
I talk about it. I talk about it pretty openly because, like, I'm not gonna get fired for it.
It's a younger crowd too, isn't it?
It's a mixed bag.
Okay, we have mostly it's basically early 30s, and then there's a big jump essentially, and then there's people 25 and younger because that's what my program started like hiring, and then besides that, it's just all older people. There's kind of a gap, so a lot of people have kids and stuff.
I work with so many old people.
Yeah, I could see that.
I just don't think the people I work with could look me in the face if they heard me say I would eat a penguin.
Yeah, I could definitely see people. If Pat and I worked at the same place for a little bit, and people there, I could see people just not wanting to talk to me ever again.
They'd be good decisions, but I like talking to people.
First of all, we all know that's a lie.
I do have some of my friends that text, as they're listening to the podcast, they'll like text me their reactions and start like arguing with me. I kind of do appreciate that. That's pretty fun.
Oh yeah, like with your trash ass take on frozen Eggos.
Listen.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
Listen,
God.
like 25. There's I think 13 whole people on the poll had eaten a frozen Eggo waffle.
Listen,
Kevin, Bailey wanted me to tell you that she said that's a appropriate snack. So,
thank you. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Okay.
I didn't think I'd be in the majority, but I knew I wasn't alone. And shouts to all the people out there with the courage to step up and vote in our poll.
All 12 other people, please at Salty Virgins Pod, so that we can shame you and also block you from our Twitter, because we will not accept that.
Also, special shouts to Melanie and Hannah on Twitter. supporting me. I knew I had friends.
Yeah, Hannah, I thought you were an OG. Clearly, you are not.
She's proving that she is. I don't see...
I'm disgusted by you.
Wow.
So anybody that wants to support my arguments publicly on Twitter, please do. I might shout you out on the pod.
I kind of okay. I kind of I want to bring it back to millennials because I have a good question.
All right,
what is your favorite thing that people blame millennials on? Like mine is the whole millennials killed Applebee's.
That was pretty funny.
I love murdering fucking shit restaurants.
Applebee's
is the worst. I think Applebee's killed Applebee's.
Applebee's stinks.
And their watery ass ranch.
It's not just like millennials killed Applebee's. It's like millennials killed chain restaurants. It's like, yeah, we didn't want to eat garbage.
You mean we got sick of eating microwave food for $20 a plate?
Which, if we wanted to have microwave food, we could just eat at our own home because we can't afford regular food. I think my biggest thing is like millennials like killed like work ethics and stuff. And it's like, no, like you guys write articles about how we work 70 hours a week, but then you don't pay us, but then you say we don't work hard. So it's like, what are like, where's the line?
Yeah, there's a chart that always circulates on Twitter about how college costs and housing costs relative to the minimum wage, as the minimum wage has stayed the same, but inflation has, inflated over the past fucking 20 years. It's like the percent relative is an absurd difference now.
Isn't it like over 1,000% or something?
I think it's, I don't know.
It's over
exactly.
9,000.
I remember it being like at least 5 times more expensive relative to the minimum wage, which is just wild.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous, given that we have to go to college, and back then going to college was like this is a pleasure project. If I don't, I can still, be relatively comfortable.
Yeah, I know far too many people that have a college degree and are struggling to find work just because markets are oversaturated. Like it's actually inverted the workforce, kind of, whereas now sometimes trade jobs can be super lucrative, and they're looking to hire people because too many people are going to college and it's saturating certain job markets. It's actually insane.
Just to kind of prove your point here a little bit, Kevin, I searched it up on MarketWatch.com. A student making a part-time minimum wage salary could pay for 106% of UCF's tuition in 1987, while the equivalent job would only cover 68% in 2016.
That's insane. Okay.
Yeah. And then, like, that's working part-time minimum wage, which, like, if you work in college now, you normally don't work part-time. Like, you work closer to full-time.
Yeah. And but I think that's just talking about tuition, I assume, Jackson. Is that factoring in housing and actually living expenses?
No, just straight up tuition.
Oh, that's so fucked.
All right, and then there's another chart here. So currently, let's see how we can read this. Percentage. Okay, so since 1987, adjusted for inflation, public university costs 183% more than it did in 1987. Minimum wage has risen 20%.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And that again is not it.
And it's a different time where college is now mandatory if you want to succeed.
Yeah. It's wild, man. Shouts to everybody looking for jobs right now. If you're in school, don't drop out of school because of us, but
please stay in school.
Yeah.
Statistically, it's the best decision you will ever make.
Yes, stay in school. But taking it back to Patrick's original question, I also liked that one economist wrote like this 5-page article about how when millennials buy avocado toast, it means they'll never be able to afford a house.
That's one of my favorite things in the world.
I was just like, I saw the line that they were trying to draw. It's like they spend money on frivolous things.
Yeah.
But I don't think that having a delicious, if you like avocados, a delicious breakfast should lock you into financial insecurity and make you unable to buy a house. I think that that's a bigger issue with the housing market and then the job market than people buying avocado toast.
No,
I don't even want to get into the fucking housing market, dude. That shit is I don't want to talk about it. I want to go back to avocado toast.
Damn good.
That was
really
I like
that's
avocado
not bad.
Toast. Big fan.
Avocado stinks.
I was at dinner with a couple friends, and one of them, there was avocado toast on the menu, and he thinks that this argument, or not argument, but this paper and the like joke about avocado toast bankrupting people is the funniest fucking thing in the world. He just couldn't stop talking about it. So now every time one of us is traveling for work or something like that, or even pleasure, and sees avocado toast on a menu, we just send it in a group text, and it just cracks the fucking one guy up. He's like, oh my god, I missed my mortgage payment, I can't, help me please. He'll just send a picture of avocado toast.
I hate avocado toast. Mainly because I don't like avocado. I don't think it's good. It's like shittier butter.
I'm a big fan of avocado.
You shouldn't be, but okay.
I think I'm allowed to be a fan of avocado.
I said no.
Especially a huge fan of guacamole. I used to hate avocado, guacamole, any avocado-related products. And then I had the guacamole at Tijuana Flats one time in like high school. And I was like, damn, this is good. And then just realized that I liked avocado now. Or
you want to know what's really fucked up? There is not a single Tijuana Flats in the city of Atlanta. Not one.
Well, isn't it a Florida
Yeah, it's
thing?
a Florida thing. A UCF grad, actually.
But it's grown outside of Florida. They're in multiple states now.
Yeah.
Do you think Atlanta would be a quick transition?
Exactly my point, but nope. There's a million Mo's, but not a single Tijuana Flats.
There were so many Mo's.
Well, because Mo's started there.
I did not know that.
Yeah, the first one is in Midtown, actually.
Okay.
But Moe's is a national brand. Like, Tijuana is still regional.
Okay, but their region could
just
be the southeast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, but like...
And if you're going to go into Georgia, wouldn't one of your first places...
Is there a
be
Publix in
somewhere around
Atlanta?
Yes, Patrick,
Okay.
I go to Publix like 3 times a week.
Oh, no.
There's Publix all the way as north as fucking Virginia.
That voids my point. No, it stops at Tennessee.
Are you just the keeper of Publix trivia now? I was like... It was like you were baiting him into it.
I worked at Publix.
Do they quiz you about Publix trivia when you work at Publix?
They tell you where the states they're in. They don't.
I could not answer a basic trivia questionnaire about the company that I work for.
That's not good.
About their like public policy and their history, no. About aspects of them, yes, because it involves my work. But about like the history or the demographics of the company, no.
Hey, Patrick, I'd like you to eat a dick because there is a Publix in Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is northern Virginia, which is much closer to Washington, D.C. So...
I don't think so.
I just looked it up.
I don't think so.
You're wrong.
I'm going to go with Pat on this one. He sounds so confident.
Talk your talk. Let's go. Fight.
Look it up, Patrick.
I'm looking it up right now, bitch.
Bitch.
Bitch. Oh, George Jenkins, 100%. Yeah.
What?
It's that,
What?
Walt Disney looking motherfucker. It's the guy who started Publix.
Oh. That had nothing to do with what we were talking
Sorry,
about.
I had no fucking clue what you were talking about.
I was trying to remember his
everybody
name.
that did know who that was. Like,
We're now a Publix
Becky.
podcast.
Yeah.
George
Shopping is a
Jenkins
pleasure.
also definitely big time Publix podcast, but George Jenkins definitely owned slaves. Like that name means slavery.
100%.
No.
He didn't own slaves?
No, it wasn't old enough to own slaves.
His dad did. His grandfather
Okay,
did.
yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say that's not true. There's one in Virginia. It opened in 2017.
Get fucked, son.
I was right.
That was after I worked there, so
fucking loser.
that's where my knowledge stopped.
You were fired from there.
Wait, what?
No, I did not get fired. I just did not get scheduled.
They just ghosted his ass.
How you get ghosted by a job, Patrick?
They just low-key stopped scheduling him.
I was only working like one day a month.
Still,
And
the
then
fact
they were
that they just like... they didn't
They
even say anything.
specifically said, "Nah, you're good."
Yeah, Patrick, that's getting fired.
They were
That's
just like-
constructive dismissal.
Let's test this out 1 month and see if he notices. And then that was
He
it.
didn't. He did not notice.
How long did it take you to notice?
That I wasn't scheduled?
Yeah.
A month?
So they were completely right.
Oh yeah, no. They told Patrick to get fucked.
I was still working at the Publix in Melbourne when I was going to school in Orlando. I was literally driving an hour to work at a Publix.
1 day a month.
One day a month. Yeah.
Listen, you make bad choices. It's not. There's nothing we can do about that.
Well, I did that because I didn't know if I was going to have an internship that summer, so I wanted to keep my job.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have an internship that summer?
I did.
There you go. Everything happens for a reason.
Much better money than Publix.
Yeah, and nobody tried to put their hands in your pockets.
Have you told that story on here?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. I was like, wait a second.
An old lady tried to put $2 in his pocket.
That sounds incredible to me.
There was one time I was working at Publix and I was helping this lady, and she called herself the Tab Lady, like self-proclaimed, I'm the Tab Lady. So whenever Tab went on sale, she would buy like 20 boxes of Tab.
First of all,
is that like a meat
Tab?
substitute? What is
Tab.
No, it's soda. It stinks. Jesus Christ!
It's the
never had
worst
that.
soda ever. It's so bad.
Tab was the precursor to Coke. Like, what, 40 or whatever? Before they, before they had sugar and things. Tab stinks. God
I just
damn.
like that she pulled a fucking Kobe and gave herself the nickname. She's like, by the way, I'm the Tab Lady.
Yeah, she loaded up her cart with like 20 tabs, and I helped her out to her car. She's like, they call me the Tab Lady. I'm like, okay, cool.
First of all, I wouldn't want to be called the Tab anything. If somebody associated me with Tab Cola, it's hands on sight. When I say it stinks, Kevin, I might have to Amazon Prime some to your house just so you can taste how terrible it is.
It tastes like flat Coke Zero.
I'm just going to go buy it. I'm going to buy it and then give you the review next week.
It stinks.
We can do the soda review portion of the show.
Oh, God, it stinks. It's so bad.
Have you guys
I
ever
think that
done
might be the strongest opinion Jordan's had on this podcast.
Patrick, am I right?
It's really bad.
Have you guys ever done the World of Coke in Atlanta and tried all the different Cokes? I'm
Oh, yeah.
I
Jordan.
have.
Yeah, and Pat.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Some of them.
Me too. I went to Atlanta.
Suck.
Beverly?
I don't know the names of them.
Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah, I don't either.
It's like
Yeah,
a French
Some of them
soda.
are fucking terrible, though.
Yeah, there's I want to say there's 7 that are actual vomit inducing. Like when you taste them, you're just like, I might lose my lunch right here in the middle of this fucking soda plant. And then I want to say 5 or 6 are just out of this goddamn world good.
Yeah, and people are drinking the bad ones on the regular, right? All those Cokes that they have are still in production, right?
Yeah. Or in other countries.
That's what I'm saying, is they're in production in other countries.
Yeah,
Because a lot of the bad ones are not ones you could find in the U.S. So I think a lot of it's just because different palate with different cultures, I guess. Because some of them are just terrible to me, I guess.
I think it's Italy. Italy has a shitty one, a really shitty one.
Yeah, that's Beverly, I think.
Okay, yeah. That one is fucking terrible. God damn. There's been an encyclopedic knowledge of old fast food stuff and sodas and stuff. Do you guys remember Pepsi Blue?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Why?
Patrick? Because I think I told you about this. This was many years ago. I had emailed Pepsi because there was a Pepsi bottling plant in Melbourne. And I had emailed Pepsi. I was like, hey, do you guys think you could just get me a 12-pack of Pepsi Blue? I'll give you $100. And they were like, no. And I was like, okay, I know you have the capability to do so. I'll give you $100. I'm like, it's no longer in production. I was like, you can buy it in Japan, so I know that's not true. It's just getting a case of soda shipped from Japan to America would cost me $100, and then it would be $40 for the soda. So it's not really worth it. But if I could get it in my backyard, it would be great.
That's funny. That's funny because one time my brother, right when Coke changed its cherry Coke from the old label to the new label, he wrote them a letter saying that he was disappointed with them changing the label. And they sent him a bunch of old cherry Coke stickers and a bunch of old cherry Cokes. They definitely weren't making them anymore. So
I'm starting to notice a trend with Jordan just strolling up to people and offering to buy things. You had to buy a dolphin at SeaWorld last episode. Now you're just
Listen, I have asked people to buy. One time I was apartment shopping. There's this really nice piece of art, and I was like, hey, I'll give you $300 for that piece of art right off the wall right now. And they're like, we can't sell that to you. And I was like, okay, off the record, how much would it be? And they're like, we can't. I was like, that's not how these things work, but okay.
I mean, you were about to pay $300 for a piece of art?
Yeah. like cash, like because I was apartment shopping, so I had money like on my person.
I cannot imagine dropping $300 on a piece of art just on a whim.
Yeah, no. In college, I had more net income than I do now because I had less bills. Yeah, no, I had $300 to just spend on art if I so chose. And I would do it now, but it would have to be like a weird, different investment.
Jordan, have you ever talked yourself into something? Because it seems like all your stories end up like you try to finesse people and then you never get what you want.
I actually have a lot. Like when the dead guy on the plane, I got $100 voucher because they were rude. So I got $100 voucher. I've gotten free drinks on planes because of that. One time I got my seat upgraded on a plane because I was sitting next to this really fat lady and there was one extra comfort seat, which is like the business class on Delta. And I was like, hey, like, Miss Cute Flight Attendant, can I go sit in the front where nobody's sitting? And she's like, we gotta wait until everybody gets on the plane. And I was like, okay. And then we proceeded to talk and flirt and whatever. And then like she let me sit in that seat, and my coworkers were mad because they paid for, you know, the economy seats and I got to sit in business and get drunk.
That's pretty dope. I've heard of people bringing like little gifts for flight attendants, and then flight attendants will just like sneak them the little the nips, the
mini bottles, the
mini bottles of liquor. I've never I guess you just get on the plane, you say, here, I bought this for you, or do you sit down and wait till here's this gift. I don't know, it just doesn't seem like a gift giving occasion to me. Maybe I'm just thinking about it way too hard, but
yeah, so you gotta you have to do that with like intention and purpose. Like you have to know like what you're trying to get out of the situation. Like immediately, like,
so is it a bartering process? Do you say like, hey, I got this for you, by the way, can I go sit up there?
No, so you have to be like, hey, here's this nice gift thing, whatever it is. They like, I've read up on it, they like individually wrapped candies and things.
Yeah, chocolates, usually individually wrapped chocolates are what I've seen.
Yeah. And then like as they're like, you know, getting everybody settled, it's like, hey, are there any other extra seats up there? Blah, blah, blah. And obviously they've told the other flight attendants, so you might be able to ask, you know, not just the person you handed the gift to. Because normally there's at least one extra seat on a plane.
Yeah.
Like, in an upgraded class.
You know, I was flying a decent amount for work this year. I should have just tried that. What's the worst? You can just practice. I should have just practiced the finesse.
Yeah, you lost a bag of candy. Like, what's $5?
My goal in travel is always to just get to point A to point B, keep my head down. Like, I just get on the plane, as soon as everyone to your outside is seated, or inside, I guess. Put on your seatbelt, headphones in, and just until the end of the flight. I'm just trying to kill time. I never thought about the finesse game.
My uncle is a finesse god.
Let's talk about it, King.
So whenever he goes on cruises, he finesse, and he just knows how to work systems. So he like withdraws like $5,000 out of the casino ATM, and they think that he's spending his money in the casino, but he's really just putting it in a safe in the room, and then they comp him free cruises.
I see the vision.
So does he ever turn any of it into chips and then change it back, or does he just pull it out of the casino ATM using his like cruise card and then?
Yeah. No, he pulls it out. He gambles some with it, but like not the 5,000.
Is that fee not percentage based?
This is what fee? The ATM
fee on the ATM?
I don't know.
Is it just a flat fee? Can you pull 5K out of an ATM at a time?
Normally, no.
I'm sure he does it in intervals, but
that's interesting. I could see that.
I see the vision though.
Yeah, just really making sense. I know there's like places in Vegas you can do stuff like that too, because if you gamble some or give the illusion of gambling, they'll comp your rooms. Actually, I learned this about a month after we got back from Vegas at one of the hotels. I think it's the Aria, which is like a really nice hotel. You can get a poker rate on a room, and all you have to do is play like, it's either 5 or 10 hours of poker over the course of your stay. I think it's 5 hours of poker over the course of your stay, and you can get a room for like $100 flat rate.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're a dick.
Well, I didn't know
You
that
should've-
before. So what I'm saying is I didn't tell you guys right after the trip because you would have been so mad, Jordan, because I didn't know. But
God.
But yeah, so next time I go to Vegas, I'm going to try that probably.
What I hear is we can go back to Vegas.
We definitely can. I've been pushing for it.
I don't want to go. We're going to Montreal anyway.
How did they never open your laptop so you got a ping from the location?
I don't know. I just don't know.
They might have just powered it off, and then they would have had to power it off and then just sell it without turning it on. But even a place that buys it would turn it on for a second to just
They
check
would
it and
have
then
to.
power it back off.
They probably just parted it out on Craigslist.
Oh, that's possible. But do people really part? Do people part out Macs?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to fix Macs with
And they're so
Mac
expensive.
pieces.
That's a good point. Damn.
Yeah, so I set my whatever, like the deletion message, like if it were to ever, boot up again, fuck you whoever stole this. It like you can set that so on your computer, like when it comes, like when it boots up, it's pretty cool. Even though getting your stuff stolen is not.
You're never gonna get your comeuppance for that either.
Sure won't.
I live my life in a magazine. I live my life on a TV screen. I live my life on birth control. I lost my mind on rock and roll. And I hear the sirens calling. All the bombs are falling. In the streets we all screwed. And it's my birthday, baby. Thought I'd go sex crazy, but I feel so screwed. Sex, body, we're gonna crash your party. Let's get screwed. I don't care. You fuck the world up now. We'll fuck it all back down. Let's get screwed. I don't care. We'll put water in your guns. We'll do it all for
So, with the married folk and whatnot,
Nobody in here is married.
No one's married.
you might as well be married.
No one's even engaged.
You might as well be married. I said what I said. If you could choose the sex of your unborn baby, would you? If not, what other attributes would you change?
This is.
I don't care about sex. That baby's going to be 7 feet tall.
Do you want a 7-foot tall woman baby though? Like girl baby?
WNBA money is still good money.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
It's literally not.
So
We'll figure it out, but yes.
7 feet is like, unless you're good at basketball, your life is miserable.
Correct.
20% of all people in the United States born 7 feet or taller play in the NBA. 1 in 5 chance.
Yeah, if you have a boy.
I'm sure 100% of 7 foot tall women play in the WNBA.
There are no 7 feet women who play in the WNBA.
Yeah, I think Brittany Griner's 6'10", and she was like the tallest. But then I guess the first 7 foot woman would probably play in the WNBA. I can see where he's going with this. Now,
I understand.
I don't know. For me, it's tough. Like right now,
Oh, wow. No, Brittany Griner's not even 6'10". She's 6'8". Jesus.
she's 6'8". Oh no.
She was so short.
If you ask me if I wanted a boy or girl, I would say I want a boy, but I don't think I would pick if I had the choice, just because a lot of people, everybody kind of has a gender that they prefer. If you say you don't, you're just lying to yourself, right? But like taking what you're given, essentially, I've heard people say like, oh yeah, I really wanted a boy, but then I had a girl and it was like incredible, or vice versa. So I think as far as the sex of the baby, I would just kind of roll with it. If it gets into attributes or like just physical traits, right? Can other people do this, or am I the only person that's able to do it?
It's rich boy shit, and only the elite can do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably turning one into an athlete, but I feel bad because that's just kind of like predetermining their path, and I would kind of like to let my kids choose whatever the fuck they want to do. But if I'm creating a genetic, if I'm basically creating LeBron James, you're gonna have to play some fucking sports. So I don't know.
Free will is an illusion, so
We're all in a simulation.
I mean, I'm a sovereign citizen, so
you're not. Anyway,
I don't subscribe to the entity the United States has created for me.
Nobody gets that joke but us.
It's a real thing. People might know about it.
They don't.
Look it up. Sovereign citizens.
I love soft sits.
If I had the ability to change something about it, it would definitely be the other attributes. Like, I'd want a smart kid.
See,
I get it.
that's the question. Can you change non-physical attributes?
Yeah.
What other attributes?
I mean, intelligence
Sure.
is not I wasn't considering that a physical attribute.
It's not. I said what other attributes. I did not say physical. I just said attributes.
All right.
So I'm going smart kid. I understand the athlete kid nets you more money, but the smart kid nets you a little bit more bragging rights, you know, all the way along the way.
That's true. Some different people's different definitions of smart, but like, I like to think my parents are
Street
proud
smarts.
of me, but I'm not making enough money to like buy them a mega house I guess I don't know.
But like, you can have.
But I guess you could do both, right?
Kid.
Por qué no los
Yeah.
dos? Yeah. I don't know. I don't fuck with the genetic engineering of people in general, just because I think it's such a slippery slope. But in a vacuum, if I could do it and no one else, like you know, you could do it this one time. I can't. I think I'd have to take advantage of that one time.
Yeah, big time, right?
No, I say let it ride.
Patrick's like, this might cost me money. No.
No, I can definitely see where he's coming from. Like,
No.
I don't know.
If
I'm so weird on it, but I think in a vacuum, I'd probably do it.
I'm all in on genetically engineering children.
And I'm also on this train, along with augmenting all my body parts.
To be a cyborg.
DSX.
Could I make my kid a cyborg?
If you wanted,
I mean,
I guess.
you can do that now if you want.
Can my kid be the Terminator?
I don't think you saw how those movies end.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I
if
definitely
you
did see how those movies ended. I just know what the Terminator looks like. And
Yeah, no, it does not end well for the Terminator.
He did not come back.
To put it simply, yes. But no, I would definitely change all of it. All of it. Whatever attributes. Me and Sid actually talked about this the other day.
Well, how about yourself? Like, would you change anything about yourself?
Do you know how fucking tall I would be? I would be just dropping my nuts on you guys in pickup basketball.
With self attributes are easy. Like, there's so many things I would change about myself. I'm like pretty happy with myself, but there's still so many fucking things I would change. And anybody that says otherwise is also a fucking liar, right?
Yeah.
I'd be 6'8" and built like Zion. I would just be
You'd just be
posterizing
Zion.
you guys.
Okay. So, what you can make
You'd
yourself
have much more hair.
much more physical, but you lose mental fortitude. Would you do it?
I would give up 50% of my like intelligence, which make the joke, haha, that's not much, to be built like LeBron James or Kevin Durant or Zion Williamson. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, they don't have to be that smart. Also, I would just be dunking on you guys. Kevin's talking to his dogs right now.
What? No, I wasn't. So
We heard you.
So talking. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. So
Because you were talking to your dogs.
Oh, about sacrificing intelligence for physical fortitude. For me, it's kind
That's
of
also not the right word, but that's okay.
whatever. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. For me, it's tough because that's almost like a gamble. I already think I am not smart enough to be doing the work that I do. So sacrificing any of that, like, I really have to have success as a athlete of some sort, and that's still a gamble. Like, I consider myself an athletic guy, but there's plenty of people in really fucking good shape that are super athletes that just don't make it as pros. And I don't know if I'm going to play that lottery, because if I make myself dumber, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm barely hanging on right now.
Trust and believe you aren't the dumbest person who works in your office.
But, like, cut me in 50%. Well, I don't.
See?
You know what? I don't want to get into it.
It shakes out a little different.
I don't know. It'd be tough. If it was a sacrifice thing, I'd probably just stay. Maybe make myself. No, you know what? I'd probably just chill.
First of all, you are in fact a betting man, so like I don't know
But
why
the
you're
thing
playing it
is,
safe.
I can work on my physical shape. I'm athletic enough. I can work on my physical shape and change things about how strong I am, how quick I am, stuff like that. I cannot work very hard on how intelligent I am. I mean, I can read articles and stuff, but if we're talking about just like inherent ability to understand things and learn new things, that's not something that's easily as practicable, right?
That's why you get clawed on reading.
That's precisely why you don't get clout on reading and you invest in name brand products for your children.
Yes. That's a running joke because
Hooked on phonics, clout on reading.
clout on reading. Patrick's parents, they had a lot of kids, so they had to do what they had to do.
Okay, clawed on reading is not actually a thing.
I mean, it might as well be.
As far as we're concerned, it is.
I've never seen another house with expired saltines and expired Jell-O in abundance.
I made Jell-O older than me.
Why did you
I didn't
do
even know
that?
Jell-O expired.
No, it was from the original Power Rangers movie. It had the promo for the original Power Rangers.
Why did you make it?
I wanted to know.
Did it?
Fair.
Did it work?
It tasted how you would think it would taste.
Oh, no.
Like
I assumed it was like normal
1993?
Jell-O.
It was soupy. It never hardened up.
I went into your pantry one time and grabbed a sleeve of crackers out of a box and opened
Remember
it up. And
I
they
ate
were
those
rubber.
crackers?
Yeah, I gave them to Jordan. Jordan wanted crackers, and I had one, and it was terrible. And then I gave it to Jordan, and he chomped down on one.
They expired like 8 years
6
ago.
years ago. Yeah. It was unbearable. Oh, God. Why do your parents do that?
I
If
just
something
don't
is
think.
on sale, I must buy it.
I don't think they know what they have in that pantry. They recently cleaned out their pantry, and it is
What,
so
just
full
stuff from
again.
This, like this millennium?
yeah.
So what you're saying
she's-
is there's good snacks at your house right now.
No, I would never say that. There are snacks in my house.
Patrick used to come over to my house intentionally. I would say, "You want to come over?" He'd say, "Have you guys had dinner yet?" And that is a true fact. That would be the first question out of his mouth.
To be fair, Kevin used to do that to my house as well.
Yeah. I mean, both of your grandmother and my mom are both very good cooks, so there was good
Except
food
for
to
that
be had all
eggplant
around.
parmesan.
My mom made eggplant parmesan one time, and it was you know what? I've had eggplant parmesan since, and it's okay, but man, my mom made it, and I had like about a bite, and then just kind of scrape by, and then texted Jordan and say, "Do you guys have dinner at your house?" And then I went to hang out at Jordan's because I was so hungry, but I didn't have the heart to tell my mom that I didn't like the eggplant parm.
I don't think I've heard one story of their moms making eggplant parm and it was good.
Didn't your mom make eggplant parm one time?
Yeah, it was the worst thing I've ever had. It's literally the worst thing she ever made.
I think you came to my house and ate dinner afterwards.
I don't know. It was so bad. It's a hard thing to make. And people
Eggplant
just
is not good.
they just keep trying it.
But if you make it correctly and it's crispy, but the eggplant still keeps its texture, it's
Yeah.
actually not that bad.
No, I've had
But
good
only
eggplant parmesan.
I've had maybe one good eggplant parmesan, and then honestly, it's just not worth the risk for me.
Yeah.
There's so many other just dishes that are almost always great.
Like chicken parmesan.
Yeah.
Or veal.
Yeah. I've only ever had veal once because I was always kind of like, I don't want to have it. It's pretty fucked up how they make veal. And then I had it and I was like, damn, okay.
It's
Like,
pretty fucking
I
good.
get it. I do.
Have you guys had venison?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
I've
like
had
it. It's too gamey.
It is gamey. One of my old coworkers used to always, like, he goes hunting, so he would be like, "Hey, I got some back straps. Would you like some?" And I was like, "No." Like,
Venison is deer, right? To clarify.
Yeah, it's deer.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I've had deer jerky, and I think that falls into the same. That was actually really good, but in jerky form, it was.
Yeah, anything jerky form is gonna be good, I
Fair.
think.
Sorry to cut you off, George.
But yeah, no, he would always be like, "Yeah, no, I got these back straps. I just came back from Alabama. It's deer season. Blah blah blah. If you'd like some, come. We're gonna go grill them up." I'm like, "No, mountain man, I'm good."
You didn't even go try it? I would definitely try it.
I've had it before. My family's like backwoods and whatnot at their roots. I've had it. It's fine. I've also eaten a pigeon.
Hold up.
You've eaten it. All
So-
right, go
Run
tell,
that
do
back?
tell. Yeah.
So, in New Orleans, people used to, they don't do this anymore, they used to rage like pigeons and eat them.
Oh no, there are definitely people still eating pigeon in New Orleans, but maybe not like a bunch of people.
Okay, whatever. So yeah, no, I've had pigeon before. It's not that good.
Oh, man,
Hot take.
So I have a mini conspiracy theory for you. I have a friend at work that claims with chicken wings that there is no way that all chicken wings are actually chicken wings because of how many chicken wings are consumed in the United States.
I don't think he understands how shitty we treat chickens.
I agreed with him for a while, and then I was telling someone, and they showed me a picture of just chicken farms in like Montana or something, and it was just an aerial picture of miles and miles of just chicken warehouses, and they're like, oh yeah, they're just door to door in there. And I was like, okay, you know what? I can see it. I think there's definitely enough chickens. Chickens aren't that big, and that was fucking. I can't imagine how many chickens are in one of those bitches. Because I don't run into a lot of space like that, but in states that don't have a lot of things, they just have room for shit like that. We just see fields full of shit, and that's where it kind of makes sense. Okay, maybe we can produce mass quantities of things. I just don't see it in my day to day, you know.
It helps when you don't treat them like animals.
Oh yeah, that's the easiest way to do things.
Correct. So like, birds aren't real, you know, whatever.
Time isn't real.
Facts. Everything's made up. Stay woke. Anyway, like, at surface level, the understanding that maybe not every chicken wing is chicken, like, I see the vision on what he's saying, because, like, they're in such varying sizes.
That's a huge concern of mine. Like, someone's like, damn, this is a huge chicken wing. I think that's great. And then I think about it, and I'm like, how big was this fucking chicken?
Yeah, that was a big chicken wing.
I just looked to the ceiling. And
You're trying to, like,
but then
you trace out the chicken wing, trying to map the rest of the chicken.
But then I realized, like, there are so many different types of chicken.
That is true.
Like,
there's like a ton of different types of chicken.
Yeah, it's not just like, you know, regular, like, hen or whatever. Like, there's, like, thousands of types of chickens.
A hen is not a type of chicken. A hen is just a female chicken.
That's not a type of chicken, you're right.
You know what? I'm not going to argue it, but you were already wrong today, so, you know, it's fine.
I think packets of redemption here. That was true.
But you know what I meant.
Yeah.
Like, so, the point still got across. But yeah, I am sometimes concerned. It's like, this looks a little funny, but I'm still going to eat it because it's got, you know, buffalo sauce on it or whatever.
I'm always interested in the thing is like, what is all the different species of chicken? What's like the cheapest chicken? What's the most common chicken that we eat and why? And like how the numbers game plays into it. Because when I think about how much I pay for a chicken wing, I wonder what the cost end to end of producing a chicken wing is.
In bulk, probably not very much.
Yeah, because you have the giant.
But they're sold
farms.
at 3 stages, right? So how much is it for a farmer to
We're not
raise
getting
one?
into
You know what I mean?
economics.
But
we're not. I understand what you're saying.
Am I paying 10x the price on my chicken wings?
No.
I'd say you're probably playing 5 times.
3, 4?
5 times the price.
5 times?
But a lot of that goes to transportation.
Yeah. Oil, fuel costs, things like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just know I'm always getting scammed. I'm always on the lookout. Stay woke.
I like how like global warming has become a big issue, and like everyone's trying to cut back on carbon emissions.
Yeah, you like that?
Well,
you like that, Patrick?
I like how everyone's trying to cut back on carbon emissions, but like one of the biggest sources of carbon in our country is just the sheer amount of cows that are farting, and no one's talking about cutting that back because everyone loves steak.
Wait, is that a real thing? I thought that was a joke.
No,
that's a real
methane
thing.
gas from cow farts is like a huge contributing factor to greenhouse gases.
I thought you were going to go like corporations kind of stay on the stay woke train. I didn't know we were getting into cow farts.
Yeah.
I'll say it.
Feel free to stay woke, though.
Yes, feel free, but no, we are eating the fuck out of some steak.
I always thought that was a dickhead thing that people say to make fun of vegetarians. I didn't know that was a real fucking thing.
No, yeah.
Real thing.
Big time.
Because, like, to be fair, I could see the vision on being vegetarian. I couldn't do it. I don't have the willpower. I would just prefer to eat the food that I like and not change. But I could see why people do it. When you look into stuff like that, like how animals are treated, it's pretty fucked, you know?
Yeah.
I'm just not strong enough.
It's thought that converting every car in the U.S. is going to be easy. Like, converting every car to electric is going to be easier than getting rid of people eating steak.
So the thing about that argument, it takes out a huge and pretty basic economic principle of capitalism. Like, the reason animals are treated shittier is because it's cheaper to do so. If, like, we treated like, when you get cage-free eggs, they cost more, so people don't buy them as much, and blah, 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 and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So, like, if we checked all the boxes, first of all, there's no ethical consumption under capitalism. Let's just put it that way. But if we were to try and move that way, it would just cost us 300 times more, and none of us make enough money to really live that way.
Right. Yeah.
So I hate that argument because it's like you're ignoring a huge part of all of the holistic view of the meat industry.
So we're taking down big meat? Is that what we're doing? I don't. You know what? Pause.
Pause. Time out. Time out.
Hold on.
We're gonna do. Exactly
Kevin loves taking down big meat.
So, Pat's just gonna bleep that part out so no one hears it, right, Pat? And then that's all the time we have for today, guys. Really fucking appreciate you listening. We love you guys. Subscribe, like. If you agree with any of my takes, hit me up on Twitter. Otherwise, you can just stay quiet.
Stop having bad opinions on food, please. For the love of
Please
God.
stop eating frozen food while it's still frozen.
Get some
All
help.
right. We love you guys. Peace.
Thank you.
Peace.
Kevin's getting after that big meat.
Stop.
May I have this dance? Can I say something crazy? I love you. Give me both your hands. Let me stand inside you. You're bound to inherit the sins of our parents and all the people we passed through. Now we're down to the last two. May I have this dance? Can I say something crazy? I love you. Give me both your hands. Let me stand inside you. You've got your mother's eyes. You've got your grandmother's ring. You've got your daddy's discernment. Girl, you did your thing. Oh, give me one more. 1, 2, 1, 2, always on beat. You must have been born with 2 right feet. I know you've been looking for something concrete. You must have been born with 2 right feet. Said 1, 2, 1, 2, always on beat. I know you've been looking for something concrete. You must have been born with 2 right feet. You must have been born with 2 right feet. Said, I love you more than your mother. More than you love yourself.